Hello and welcome to Double G's Garage. Today we're going to update you on where we're at on the 64 project. We've got some more brake work to do, but before we get started, quick shout out to VW Factory in Ocala, Florida. I just ordered some parts from them, never ordered from them before, trying to kind of keep it local as much as possible and help out some of the smaller businesses, but hey, I ordered a pedal cluster for the 64 because I'm updating it to a later model pedal cluster. Open up the package, free shirt. That's really cool. So shout out to VW Factory. Thanks for including a free shirt in there. Good stuff. Quality. It's MP parts, which are like MP parts you can get anywhere else. So again, I'm trying to keep it local. Ordered from Jared Imports in West Virginia recently. Just trying to, to help out those smaller businesses since we're having the stuff that we got going on in the world today. So kind of trying to spread it around. So anyhow, let's get started. So as you can see, we've got the rear disc brakes installed on the 64 projects, and we've also got the front disc brakes installed on the 64 project. Waiting on a few brake hoses. Shouldn't be too much more. We'll have this thing ready to go. So before we get started with the pedal cluster installation, I just wanted to give a quick kind of review, at least on the install for the EMPI wide 5 front and rear disc brake kits that I'm putting on the 64 here. When I used to restore VWs 25 years ago, we didn't have the luxury of being able to jump on the web or pick up the phone and order a kit to install these disc brake kits. So here's my initial impression. Technology is great. Obviously they're going to be better stopping power, better quality kits than what the stock disc or drum brakes would be. So it's a big plus there. Cost-wise, it's not that much more expensive to put the disc brake assemblies on than it is to order all the parts and pieces, drums and everything to replace the stock parts. So if you're not worried about originality, if you're not doing a show quality, original restoration, why not upgrade to disc brakes? But one thing to keep in mind when you're installing these, it's not going to fit perfect and it's not going to have all the parts that you're going to need. I can just tell you right now. One thing or a couple things I've run into on this 64 during the upgrade, go ahead and order, if you haven't already replaced your brake hoses and your metal brake lines, you need to order that separate. It's not going to come in the kit. So I already had in stock complete metal brake line kit, so I've used the majority, if not all, the parts that were in there. And what I'm waiting on now is rear brake hoses. All my rear brake hoses were clogged up. I was going to try again with this car, not doing restoration. I was just trying to get it back on the road, and it's just one thing after the other. Go ahead and do it right. So put the rubber brake lines and put the metal brake lines on when you're installing these kits. Also, another problem I ran into is I swapped out the transmission. I upgraded to a Freeway Flyer. I bought it used off of Facebook, and it has long axles. So when I got ready to install the kit, I actually had to use an extra set of spacers out of the old axle to make it work properly. Had I not had the extra parts and pieces there, I wouldn't have had the pieces I needed to put it back together. So that was something else I ran into. So don't just think you're going to order the kit, open the box, put it on, one weekend you're done. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you've already replaced or upgraded some of your brake parts. The next thing I ran into, the kit that I have for the Wide 5 comes with a single circuit. Basically what it is a type 2 master cylinder, single circuit. Now some of you may, for safety reasons, want to run a dual circuit master cylinder. That's fine. I've got a friend that's running a dual circuit on his, and we ran into some problems with the push rod. The push rod's not the right length. His particular car, Chris, shout out, is a 58, and the early push rods are not the same length as what a 67 and later push rod would be for the master cylinder. So he's not getting the pedal that he should, so we were having to upgrade the push rod. I'm fine with the single circuit heavy duty type 2 EMPI supplied master cylinder that comes with the kit. So I'm running it, and as far as I can tell, it's going to work fine. But one thing I ran into, I had to replace some floor pans. If you see a previous video, I've put quarter pans in this. So I'm upgrading to the late model pedal cluster because it's a better unit. It's got a roller pedal in it. It's got the gas pedal is mounted to the assembly, where on the earlier cars like this, the gas pedal's mounted to the floor. You would have to cut the tab off and re-weld it. And again, it's more trouble you're gonna run into. So if you didn't know any better, you bought the kit, and you got ready to put it back together, the pedals on this vehicle were actually frozen because of the rust in the pan. So again, I'm doing it right. I ordered the EMPI pedal cluster kit, which I'm getting ready to show you, and I'll give you a link to it, and also show you the part number for it. So I'll show you some tips and tricks when I install this here in just a minute. Okay, here's what we're going to be putting in today. We've got the EMPI pedal cluster, part number 00-4526-B. Looks like a stock pedal assembly. One thing I like about it, it does have a grease fitting built into it, so you can keep everything lubed up. It's got the spring already installed. Looks like pretty good quality. The second part that I got with it was the actual accelerator pedal kit, and it's part number 98-1027-B. So it's got one of those, you can buy these from anybody, but it's like a pedal refurbished kit, and it's got the roller in it, all the pins and everything that you need. And then of course it's got the pedal pad, and it's got the actual gas pedal in there. You know, one problem that you run into when you're installing these pedal clusters is how in the world do I keep this clutch cable loop on there and be able to put it back in the tunnel without it falling off. So here's your tip to do that. You put a rubber band around it. So you just loop it around there. So yeah, all you do is loop the rubber band around there. It holds it in place while you install the pedal cluster back into the tunnel. And once you get the pedal cluster back into the tunnel, you don't have to worry about the rubber band anymore. It's simply going to break at some point in time from operating the clutch, and it's going to fall off in the tunnel. It won't hurt a thing. Much better than using something like safety wire that could get bound up in there and cause a problem. Well, there you go. New pedal clusters in. New pads for the throttle and for the clutch and brake pedals. Brake line ran. Getting closer every day. Well, that does it for today's video. Thanks for stopping by Double G's Garage. Next time we'll finish off the brakes and hopefully get the seats back in it and take this thing for a test drive. If you like what you saw, help us out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it with some friends. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.